Hello, Namibia. Welcome to Breakfast with FLI podcast, a show where we discuss financial topics and everything finances, and where we serve you breakfast in terms of financial literacy. I am Diago Manyagapo, your host for today. Recently, there has been growing concerns in media about people losing their hard-earned money to fraud and cybercrime. Today, in the studio, I'm joined by Mr. Mbasuva Cornelius, who is here to discuss the matter and help us understand what's going on and also to give us tips on how we can protect ourselves against the fraudulent activities. Mr. Mbasuva, welcome to FLI Breakfast podcast. Just briefly take us through what fraud is, please.
Okay, no, thank you for having me. Let's just start by saying fraud is a criminal deception intended to result in financial gain or personal gain. And like you just mentioned, there's been a rise in fraudulent activities, and I think today we're going to just open up just to unpack what is really happening and how our clients can protect themselves.
Oh, thank you so much for the explanation. Can you just also maybe give us the common types of frauds that Namibians should be aware of?
Okay, just to go into that, we have a lot of we have types of fraud. We have online fraud, we have corporate fraud, we have insurance fraud, and online fraud. So what has been happening right now? It's online fraud where online fraud involves the phishing and the farming, where, like you said, clients are losing their money. They are being called that you have won something, which means that's a false under phishing, where you are called by someone pretending to be someone from whether it's an institution, whether it's a bank, and trying to gain access to your bank to your account. And they ask for your personal information, where we still advise clients not to give such information.
Oh, okay. Given the rise of fraudulent activities in Namibia, what is being done to safeguard the consumer money that are in the banks?
Okay. We need to make sure that we need to understand, us as a bank, clients have taken that responsibility to say, okay, fine. Let me just give an example of FNB today. Say, if a client decides to bank with FNB, so that client decided for FNB to be the first bank of choice. So which means us as a bank also, we have measures in place. We have robust technologies that are in place just to safeguard the client's money. So in terms of that, what we do, everything that happens in the client's account, we are able to track and see, and also making sure that whatever happens, we can be able to track and stop it before it happens. So we have systems that are in place to make sure that doesn't happen to clients in terms of them losing money.
Oh, interesting. Let us talk about the measures that are put in place to prevent fraud. For example, in the case of FNB, there is wallet OTP, for example, in the case of your bank.
Okay, let me start by explaining before we go there. Let me just start by explaining how it works, and so that the clients also can really understand it and also put into consideration in terms of what they need to do. So when you talk about an OTP is a one-time PIN that triggers a withdrawal from your account, right? So the reason we say don't share it, it's part of us making sure that clients understand that the OTP should be kept confidential to you. Same as your password to your online banking or to your banking app. Same as your PIN, the 5-digit PIN to your cell phone. Same as the PIN that once you open the account, we give you a 4-digit PIN. So, and we always make sure that clients understand that PIN, that password, do not share with anyone.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
But what are the important things that Namibians should know to protect themselves against the fraudulent activities?
Oh, what I would say to our Nigerian people, because it's there, it's happening, and I've been into the field. I've FNB. What we are busy with, we're not only having such sessions. I recently concluded some of the radio sessions that where we sit and we discuss such, and also there are more campaigns that we are running. We go to the field and do activations just to educate our clients. The most important thing that we want our clients is to be aware and make sure that you understand if someone calls you, please stop and report, because you know that you haven't entered into competition, and we want them to be vigilant. If someone calls you and start asking for your banking details, that's why now you need to start like, okay, fine. Because like we keep saying, FNB will never call you and ask for your banking details. The banking details includes, like I said, your OTP, your bank card, your CVV number at the back of your card. So that's what our clients, we need to our clients to understand. And also, like we said, oh, that's what we are doing now. We are sitting here so that we can inform our clients, so that we can educate the Namibian, every Namibian, that fraud is there, is happening. And you might fall victim of that, because it happens. They are calling our clients. Just to give an example, yesterday I was in Okahanja, busy educating the clients, and it happened that one client was called, and quickly you can see the reaction, and he stopped that call. And that's what we want every Namibian to understand. Please do not tolerate the chat to go on, because they are very convincing. So that's why what we need to do is for you to stop and report. And like what you can do as an FNB client, you can call our contact center 061 299 2222, or also we have a front line 24/7, where you can also call 061 299 2999. So that's what we want our clients to do. And most importantly, also for a client that also has online banking, if something happens, you can always go into your online banking, you block or you call us, you can put the account on hold.
Oh, very interesting. So if an individual or me, I am suspecting some fraudulent activities, then I can call your bank to confirm.
Yes, you can call and you can stop it. And one thing that I also need to mention, like you said, what are we doing as a bank? And I said we have robust measures in place. For example, 2 weeks back, we had clients receiving messages where you need to click the link. And what we did immediately, we were sending messages to our clients to say, please remember that FNB will never ever call you or even text you a link for you to have access to your account. So that's what we need to make sure that our clients or every Namibian out there to understand. Please do not share your OTP. Please do not click on any links, because that's scammers trying to gain access to your account.
With the enhancement in technology, or let's say with the rise in online banking and digital payment, how is this contributing to fraud in Namibia?
Okay, so if you mention online banking, if you mention the banking app and everything, so we are talking about digital, right? And us as banks, obviously, as FNB, we want our clients to adopt to technology, to use the online banking. You just mentioned that to use the FNB banking app, but also us also as a bank, we have measures in place in terms of cell phone banking, in terms of the banking app, in terms of online banking. So all these digital platforms, there's a password we need to protect. For example, let me just talk about the banking app. So the banking app, it has got layers of technology or security measures that you can put. For example, we have a password, right? You have a password that you can have on your banking app, and from there also we call it biometric authentication, where you can use your finger or your facial your face, and also we have also enhanced it with a pin. So which means the password, if it fails, it will ask for the facial or your fingerprint, and also it will ask for the pin. So that's what we have. And also we have two-factor authentication on our online banking. It's us making sure that, for example, the auto verification. If you log onto your online banking, I'll receive a text that a device, a Dell device has logged onto my online banking. Then I will know, no, it's not me. Then you have an option to report it. And one thing that I also need to mention in terms of us protecting the clients. I really want them is to listen. For example, now, if it happens that you go out of the country and you have a laptop that you have been using, right? It's verified, and you happen to go outside of the country. Once you log into a new device, we drop the limits. So that's a security measure in place already, because we could see that you are logged onto a new device. So your limits, your payment limits, your swiping limits for the card, they drop. So it's us making sure that we protect the client. And I need to mention that this FNB is very keen to make sure that we protect the clients. Security wise, we need to make sure that our clients are protected, and we need to make sure that we protect them. We need to make sure that their money is protected. Yes.
It's very clear that all this fraud is not happening like internally, or neither of the FNB staffs are responsible for everything that's happening. Is something that it seems like it's something that's out of FNB's control. What is the bank then doing to maintain trust in light of rising the fraud instance?
It's a good question, and like I mentioned earlier before, the most important thing, like I said, client security, it's a priority at FNB. And with that said, a month back, we had media sessions where our ESCO members did brief the media on what we are keen on in terms of making sure that our clients are protected. And also, we need to make sure that we educate them how to protect themselves. We need to make sure that we go out there, like I said, we are having this now so that they can get tips on how to protect themselves. And we have been having radio sessions also, like I said, we have been running the whole country. Next week I'll be in the Grootfontein, Joshua, as part of us FNB, making sure that we need to educate the clients. They need to be educated. And at FNB, we really want to make sure that clients are protected. And also we promise them that we're going to fight fraud. And we want them to be involved. Their involvement is them listening, it's them making sure that when we share the tips, they listen. When you go out there on a Saturday, you want to have your favorite coffee, please do not log on to the public Wi-Fi. That's what we need to make sure that our clients understand. Everywhere you go, please make sure that you are protected. Your card, your PIN to the card, your password, it belongs to you. It doesn't belong to the other person. So you need to protect it. And that's why we've taken time so that we can get involved the media, we can go out and also educate the clients.
Okay. You spoke of FNB ensuring that there is customer protection. What protections are in place on the TikTok channels that the Namibians should be aware of?
Before we go to the digital channel, let me it's one thing that I really want to highlight and make sure that the Namibian people, whoever, whether you are banking or at FNB, for example, now you spoke about the OTP. I want to touch on the OTP. But first, let me touch on the wallet. Everyone receiving an e-wallet. You might be receiving an e-wallet. Exactly, I receive an e-wallet. But you have a pin to it. You have a pin to it. There is a pin. And we need to make sure that clients understand that that's a wallet and it should be protected with a 5-digit pin. And us making sure that you are protected. If you lose your phone, someone might dial our dial stream to try to access your wallet, right? And if it fails, it's going to be blocked. And once it's blocked, it takes 24 hours for it to be unblocked, and you need to call us. So that's the measures in place so that we protect our clients. And with the OTP, like I said, the OTP, what we did, we had a few e-wallet that are linked to the banking app where you receive your e-wallet, it's being withdrawn some. And we went back and said, as a bank, it's okay, fine. How do you protect our clients? And we came back, we enhanced our security on the banking. We said, every time you want to link your wallet to your banking app, we are not going to receive an OTP, but it depends on the type of phone that you are using. So if you don't receive an OTP, there's an auto rate. So which means it will read and then it will be linked without an OTP. But if you try to link it and then you receive an OTP, that OTP will be forwarded. So which means you won't be able to if you receive my OTP, you won't be able to link it to my banking. And I keep saying we do a lot of enhancements on our bank on our digital channels because we are saying we want everyone to bank digitally because it's more convenient to the client, it's seamless, and they want things to be done easy. But also, us as a bank, also need to make sure that the security measures that we have is to protect the client. That's why we are saying do not share it, do not share your password, do not share your online banking password, do not share your PIN with everyone. And one thing that I want to highlight is cell phone banking. On cell phone banking, we have a PIN. And I've been into the field and sometimes you engage with the client, you find that this client doesn't have a PIN to their account. So which means it's a risky. So which means someone can be able to get your phone, dial star 14321 and be able to send a PIN, but it's going to need your card number and everything, but it can be done. So that's what we say. We want to make sure that please make sure if you have your cell phone banking, there's a PIN to it. Make sure that if you have the banking app, please make sure that all the security features you have them, and also on your online banking, make sure you don't also share that.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. That brings us to our today's episode. Mr. Mbasuva Cornelius, thank you once again for breaking down this complex bank fraud topic and for giving us insights on how we should protect ourselves against fraudulent activities in this TikTok age. To our listeners, our audience, like he said, fraud prevention starts with you. Stay safe. Do not share your personal banking information and also verify before you act. Stay safe.
Thank you so much for having me.